Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. And yes, it's been a little while. It's been a little while since I streamed. I've been a little bit ill the last couple of days, but I am back. I'll be back today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back Friday. We're going to go back to talking football after this show, I'll tell you, because we need to. Like, I am stressed talking about this owner stuff, and I'm sure Pies is as well. Talking about that, Pies is with me again. Big up to Pies. Pies, you right?
Yeah, I'm good. As usual, it was a pretty quiet day in terms of the Chelsea front, and then bang, a whole eruption appears out of nowhere.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Listen, we're all here. I wasn't going to stream today, and then then all that news broke about Bruce Buck organising meets with the Ricketts and Paul Canoville, which we're going to be talking about as well. There's more that we're going to talk about in regards to the Ricketts family, and are they the favourites? That's the biggest question. Are they the favourites? Is our thoughts and our opinions that we've been putting across social media not enough? Is it not being listened by the hierarchy? All of these things we're going to be talking about in the next sort of hour and a half or so. But make sure you all smash the like button. We're on our road to 5K, and we're 75 new subscribers away from doing that. There's over 40 of you already. Make sure you hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. Good seeing you all back here as always. I know, it's like I said, it feels like it's been a while. I think the last time I streamed was with Pies, funny enough, which was on is it a Saturday, Pies? I can't remember, or a Sunday. I can't even remember. It was one of them days. But yeah, it's been a while. But we're gonna talk about Bruce Buck. We're gonna talk about the news that was breaking in regards to the meet that was organised with the Ricketts family and Paul himself. And we're also going to delve into why the other rival bidders are so frustrated with that, why they're slightly nervous with this as well. And there's so much to go through. We're going to get into it. On top of that, we will open up the lines as well, get your thoughts and opinions as well, guys. But let's go through the chat before we go into it with Pies as well. Big up to Josh in the house. Nice to see you declared. Nice to see you, my man. Nice to see you. Gary is here as well. They're already talking to the former project director from Romanovich, abandoned. Are they? I don't know who said that, Gary, but good, interesting stuff if that is true. What else we got? Arpan, big up to you, my man. Nice to see you in the house as well. DJ Sagjay, big up to you. Bex is in the house as well. She says over 30. It's actually over 50 now as well. Guys, hit the like button. 2 minutes in. Rams, big up to you. Shelly says, Zoe, boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know what she's trying to say there. Texas Blue says, unfortunately, it's going to take a United-style protest storming the stadium. Well, you saw what happened yesterday with the Nigerians when they went out, how they protested. Unfortunately, someone ended up having cardiac arrest. I believe it was the doctor that was brought on there to watch the game, which was quite sad news to him. So RIP to him. HM saying back off. That's quite a good one, isn't it? Back off. Joy De Boy says big up to Gem and Pies and the chat. Big up to you as well. Seppa's in the house. M3, what up to you, my guy? Gem for owner. I'm sure me and Pies could do a better job than the Ricketts. We just need money, isn't it, Pies?
Yeah, bro, give me some money. I got good signings cooking up, bro. I got something for the Chelsea fans. Don't worry.
Listen, like all your dreams will come true, but all we need is your money. So give us a couple bill, guys. Are there any people in the chat that actually are billionaires that would like to lend us $1 billion or something, or maybe more, 2 billion?
My PayPal will be put in description, okay, and donate to Gem as well. Let's get it going.
Listen, if you are serious about that, please do it. If it means stopping the Ricketts from actually taking over, if you want to do that much, then big up to you guys. Big up to Aporvax as well, Buck off as well. Football Terrors reported that Ricketts potential have a leg on the other bidders. We're going to talk about that and why they could potentially have the leg on other bidders. And I don't think it's more than I think it is more than just the money, but I also think it's to do with the way that the certain individuals at Chelsea Football Club and Rain Group have this sort of connection with them as well. But we're going to get into that. Hassan, nice to see you, my guy. 5K by the end of the month. Yeah, we should make that. We should easily make that. Big up to Top Bins. Josh says, who else is supposed to organise a meeting like that? Like let's not act like Bowley or anyone couldn't have a meeting if they wanted to as well. The Ricketts are allowed to defend themselves in all of this. What's your response to that, Piers?
Who else is supposed to organise a meeting?
He's basically saying that why it's not like, you know, he feels the Ricketts have just put themselves out there a bit more than others. It just feels like it's the Bowleys wanting to put themselves
Well, I
out there.
mean, because Todd Bowley and the other groups will be meeting executives before April 11th, and are also planning to talk to Tuchel. I think that was the report. But obviously, the Ricketts need to act faster because they've not got fans on their side, and obviously they need to kind of do a bit of PR, I guess. And by Tom Ricketts having this meeting with Paul Canoville, you know, people, Chelsea fans, on social media clearly don't respect him with the racism, but people in and around the ground do. And if they see that Paul Canoville is kind of reassured, was the official words, then of course Tom Ricketts will probably think that's a great thing. I'm doing better here. I've got Paul Canoville on my side, so he thought, but that's actually not the case. Paul Canoville came out and said he's not endorsing any bid. So yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, but obviously the Ricketts need to do more, and Tom Ricketts himself, because he's at the head of the bid because of all the controversies, and as you can see, nothing for them is clearly working because, quite rightly, fans are just still annoyed. With, as I always say, it's not just the action side what they've done; it's also sporting reasons and looking at their history with the Cubs.
Yeah, you know, I struggle to actually understand, even from a business element, other than the money, why they're so attractive. You know, you can have, and we said this off stream. I said you could have all the money in the world, you could be the richest person in the world, but it's not about having all the money. It's about how you utilize the money. And I'm not talking about the short term, because I keep saying this. Any owner that comes in, I think whoever gets picked is going to do the short term thing, which is renew contracts and back the manager, because that brings fans on side. But my issue is not about what's coming now. It's not about the short term. It's about the long term. What is their understanding? What is their project? What is it that they're going to do, and how much are they going to spend? Because obviously, as Pi said, the redevelopment option for the stadium, you know, they seem to have one up on maybe potentially on that, maybe. So we'll have to see. You know, we have to see what happens, guys. We have to see. We're going to talk about it all in a bit as well. Big up to Declared. He says, here is a star to the takeover, guys. Hashtag Roman back. Are we singing the wrong thing, Pies? Like, I know it's very, should we say we shouting the wrong thing in terms of no to Ricketts. Should we be switching our energy into maybe hashtag Roman back after all the news we've heard about him?
Well, I mean, it's inevitable that fans would want him back now, and even before he was involved in peace talks. So I don't think particularly the government are going to take that very seriously. I know Roman feels the love of Chelsea fans; he always will, but I don't think particularly that would do much. I mean, there was even rumours from the Athletic that Roman was planning to sell anyway, now that he'd won every trophy possible in football. So
Yeah.
I think the focus has rightly been on trying to make sure the least of the worst options, which seems to be Todd Bowley, we hope, doesn't get in. So yeah, the Ricketts firmly out, hopefully.
As there's over 70 of you here already, there is a petition created to stop the Ricketts and taking over the football club. I've already signed to it. I don't know if Pies has as well, but you can follow this petition, which is on change.org. I actually got it from, who did we get it off? Here it is. Keeps the Ricketts away from Chelsea. There's also, at the moment, there's 5,841 people that have signed it. Let's get it to 7,500. And from that, I think the petitioning grows bigger and bigger and bigger. So, guys, fans, you know what you need to do. This is where we have to step up. This is where we have to protect the image of our football club. I keep saying the image because they're not really a great owner to be taking over this football club and set an example, you know, of a good owner when you think about the personal element from them. And we even got into the business side of it, you know, as well. So, look, go and check it on over there. Pies, have you signed this petition yet, mate?
I've not seen it yet. I've saw the boy tweet about it, but I haven't actually looked through it yet. But I mean, it just goes to show, like, nearly 6,000 signatures already. Tomorrow morning, this is going to be on some crazy numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Go on Twitter, guys. It is Dubois that's actually thinking that I'm going to retweet it as well, actually, so people will get onto it as well. But let's grow this petition. Do a little bit promoting it, get you guys to do it. What else have we got here? Fatos says, Jem, you look like a billionaire. Pies defo got some money in the bank. Jem got affinity money, but he doesn't want to take the money out of his wallet. Very funny, Fator. You're the rich billionaire because you're the one that walks around pumping in money into super chats. $100, $200, mate.
Bro,
Save that money.
He's the FIFA point merchant, man. He's the FIFA point merchant.
There you go. There you go. You know. There you go. Big up to Fator in the house as well, though. Nice to see him as always. 2020 April 2021 Super League protest. 2020 April 2022 Ricketts protest. Anyone? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? What was it? A year ago, and it's mad. It's mad. Yeah, potential. Kai, big up to you, my man. This is Petitions. What are we, feminists? Oh, I love Kai, man. Kai. Big up to you, Kai, as well. Drop the link to the petition. Go on to Dubois' page, guys. Go on to Dubois' page. You'll see it there. You'll be able to sign the petition as well. Big up to Mo at the Blue Lounge as well, who's in the house. This is Make a Stand, people. # no to Ricketts as well. Yeah, big up to you. Make sure you go and check him out as well, guys. We will post a link in the chat now, guys. Big up to Bex. Get that done. Pies, let's get into the nitty-gritty because a lot's happened in the space of, I'd say, about an hour of news. It was very quiet and then it all broke. I think Chelsea transfer broke a lot of it, to be fair, and it was from the Times as well. And it starts with the whole thing of where are we going? Where are we going here? I didn't even read this bit about the UK Sports Minister, Nigel Hudson. I continue to work with the fans, but I was very clear from day one. It's still the case. This is not a business as usual. This is a different world because the club owner has been sanctioned. So what you're saying then? You're just going to do fuck all still, like, until we sell the club. This Nigel Huddleston,
this guy has a massive ego, bro. This is the UK government in itself. I saw one of the quotes about I don't think it's on this screen, but it was something about like you've been sanctioned, so this is not a normal process. So kind of like get used to it, kind of thing. Like we're fans, man. Like you sanctioned Roman Abramovich, and this is clear that this was not just about Roman Abramovich. This was about Chelsea. These guys are just absolute clowns, honestly. A lot of them.
Yes. I mean, I've given my thoughts on the government. To be honest, I don't really want to bore you guys to it, but at the end of the day, I think they're incompetent anyway. They've shown that they're another issue that we face, but we have faced it most days with them because they always make the wrong decisions. You only just got to look at COVID and how they dealt with that, you know? So, yeah, it is what it is. Exclusive rival group bidding for Chelsea are angry at what they see as preferential treatment being shown by the club towards the Ricketts consortium. When we talk about this comment here, Pies, do you think it's more to do that the Ricketts are really trying to put them? This is the way I see it, right? You've got the shortlist, and you've got Todd Bowley, and you've got the other guy. I can't remember his name, Broughton, and then the other guy. The Paglico, if his name is that guy. Right, you got them, and then you got the Ricketts. Is it just not a thing of that the Ricketts are putting themselves out there more than the likes of the Bowleys and etc., and it's maybe angering them, or do you feel that there was because we're going to get to it in a second, but apparently there was a statement basically to say that all bidders shouldn't really have any contact with the football club. Do you feel like the Ricketts have broken that rule?
Yeah, exactly. That statement, as you said there, they wasn't supposed to meet certain executives until a certain date. And by the way, this meeting happened last week before everything was announced about, like, you have the time to go now and meet people until April 11th. This meeting was last week. This is only just coming out now. So it's like they've gone behind Rain's back and kind of gone behind the bidders' back. Not like Rain care, because obviously Rain seem to want the Ricketts, and this is why I said to you the whole time when Matt Law came out with that article, he said ages ago, Rain and the Ricketts have an existing working relationship which could eventually lead to conflict of interest. When I read that, I thought, fuck, the Ricketts are buying Chelsea. They've got a working relationship. Only 2 years ago they did it, or tried to do a deal together, I believe. So like this is ridiculous. You can't have these sort of ties and expect the process to be professional. I don't believe it's been professional. I believe it's been rigged the whole time. I genuinely do. I feel like without without these
Mhm.
leaks, without the fan backlash, which could and should eventually lead to a process, I feel like they would have stormed this race completely, no matter what their bid was, bro. They are clearly liked by Bruce Buck and the Chelsea board and Rain, and it's only the fans and the leaks that can really change things and stop things. Because then the board and Rain have to act. They can't just sit back and let this Ricketts sale go through if there's hundreds and thousands of backlash and also other parties that could get involved with conflict of interest and all that stuff. Because
Yeah.
there's legalities as well to this.
Well,
So it's
100%.
ridiculous.
100%. Beck says here, and just to confirm what we all reiterate and what we just said, in a letter sent to the bidding group on the March the 1st, it was stressed that no contact should be made with the Chelsea executive during the sale process. So if that's broken, surely that bidder should in theory be pulled. Like you're taking the piss. Like, your category, whatever they've put forward to the board and to Rain Group is, it may be the PR aspect, the long-term aspect, the the breakdown of what they feel they can offer Chelsea in the long term. Not only the stadiums, because I think most of them will do that, but how they're going to back this football club. What are their ideas for the academy? Are they going to, create other development centers in other countries, which would the Saudi media group want to do? Like there's so much that's been already probably categorized and put forward. So each bidder has its own different sort of per se in what they can offer. Why do you have to then go that extra element further and break the rule? But then also on top of that, which makes it even worse, people like Bruce Buck, who are the hierarchy, maybe the ones making the decisions, should we say, are being sweet talked into organising meetings with Paul. That just shows me from the outset. That just shows me, and we ain't got to that yet. We're going to get to that in a second, but that just shows me that there's pure favoritism. Or if it's not favoritism, like you said, it's already planned that they want to push the Ricketts to take over. They're just trying to get people on side before they can actually kick on forward with this, and that's why they're probably delaying it till the end of April to try and build that relationship between not only the Ricketts but the football club itself and the football fans. And I just find it ridiculous. I thought Todd Bowley was in the lead. I still think potentially he may still be, but it starts to get worrying every day when you read articles about how the Ricketts are sort of snaking their way into the football club still and trying to speak to the, let's say, important personnel to try and sway their understanding of them. And I don't know, it is definitely worrying times. Who hired Rain?
Roman
Supposedly Roman
Abramovich.
Abramovich.
Roman Abramovich.
Is it though? Is that confirmed? Did he actually pick them, or were they then
Yeah,
announced by?
they're conducting the sale on the behalf of him. So obviously he chose them to conduct the sale. So yeah, he chose them.
So Kai says he's an Israeli. As an Israeli, I'm a bit annoyed that Roman doesn't choose the buyer himself. It's very Russian of him.
Be careful of saying that. I'd be
Well,
very careful of assuming
yeah.
that.
I mean, Kai is a no filter guy. I know Kai from a personal level. Is the way he's a funny guy. People know him well enough. Who put Americans in charge of the biggest sale in the sport history? That's where we went wrong. Did we? Did we go wrong in allowing Rain Group, an American group, to take control of the dealings of this football club? Did we? Is the favoritism shown in the shortlist? Still, when you look at the bidders that have made it through, I don't, 3 of them Americans, aren't they? 3 of them, 4 of them,
I
3
mean,
of them. Yeah,
yeah, I think if you look at it anyway, the higher probability is going to be Americans because they have the most billionaires in the world, I believe. So, and also, like, what is
yeah.
so ironic about this whole thing is, oh, apparently Chelsea don't want to sell to a politically related party, so they won't really see interest as serious from the Middle East and places like China. But yet you're supposedly going to, or it's looking like you're going to sell to the Ricketts, whose family have some of the most political views in the whole world. They donate to parties. They donate to political parties. Like, where
Oh
is the
man,
logic? This
there is.
sale it's rigged, man. It's not fair. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Pies, I say fortunately, we can't allow as a fan base. If it is being rigged, we can't allow it because this is too big. This is too big. This is like this is our football club. This is a lot of what people know, like only know. You know, this is their this is their second hobby. This is everything. I don't think they really get it in their heads. The people that are making the decisions, the hierarchy, the Rain Group, you know, even the Ricketts to a degree. I don't think they understand that how important it is for us as a fan base to have the right individual after Roman. Yes, we were very spoiled in how Roman took after this club and treated it and made it very made it what it is today. The fact that it was worth 3 billion is all down to the way that Roman had built the system and infrastructure since 2004 to where we are now. It's like we want to continue like that. We don't want to go where the rivals think we're going to go, which is downhill. They seem to feel that whoever takes us on, we're going to have a new Glazier, we're going to have a new Kroenke. It's going to be the same stress. And as Chelsea fans, we have the opportunity and the voice to stop this and stop people like the Ricketts, who have had no positivity linked to them, not one sense of positivity other than their pockets. Probably the fact that they're probably richer than probably any of the other bidders that are shortlisted is probably why they're probably being pushed a little bit more than the others in an instance. But I've stressed it and I'll keep stressing it. You can have all the fucking money in the world that you want, Ricketts family. Yeah. It doesn't really bother me, but it's how you use your money. And then if you take the personal aspect out of it and you look at it from a business aspect, you can clearly see that they're not good enough. They're not good enough to continue the structure that's been created at this football club. What are they going to offer? You know, they can't even, their infrastructure and systems at Chicago Cubs is atrocious. I have Chicago Cubs fans DMing me and messaging me, some of them that I know that are Chelsea fans, saying to me that these guys have no infrastructure in place. They've been the owner of our club for a very long time, and they are not good enough. You know, what is it that this this Chelsea Football Club, the hierarchy you're seeing in the Ricketts that we don't know about? Because if there's something that is positive, that really works, that is, oh my God, changing the views of certain individuals, supposedly, what is it that they're saying that is giving them that? That's the real big thing for me, you know? I don't know. Signed a petition and made a contribution. Big up to you, Liam, as well. So many comments, blimmin' hell, so many comments. This has been read from the start. The racist emails were just a bump. They will ignore it, is what Kavkas is saying. But they could ignore it, Alexis. But we're not annoying it. We're not annoying it. And, you know, at the end of the day, protests will happen. I'm going to the Brentford game on the weekend. I already got people talking to me, messaging me about organising early meets to protest this, to get it in their thick skull heads, because they're not obviously listening to social media, that certain individuals are not to run this football club. You know, there is no personal, like there's no, I'm just reading what Kai's saying. It's the way Russians do business. Israelis are more in control of big sales. Like, it's not saying it's bad thing, just different styles. No, I hear you, Kai. I hear you, my guy. Who says organised crime doesn't exist is what CFC Matt is saying. That's fucking true, isn't it? We've got a super chat from Dinishan here. Big up to Dinishan. He says, if Ricketts win, I will not support Chelsea anymore, but watch them rarely. I will cry, bro, seeing my club go down like Arsenal. Pies, before we move on to the next thing, if the Rickett family do succeed and they completely ignore this fan base, where do you stand with it?
If they succeed,
yeah.
fuck, I don't know what would happen, bro. I think that'd be, I don't know. I guess there would have to be a level of acceptance as time went on, but initially, I think things would kick off. This is why I just don't see it happening, because I think eventually, as the days go by, it is going to kick off, and I don't see how you could ignore the fans who are the ones who actually attend the games, buy your tickets, purchase the season tickets, bro. Like, this is why I've said on previous streams, like, this is why the Europa Super League got stopped. Like, it would never have got stopped if those fans didn't go down to the bridge, because ultimately they see that as a threat to them. They see that as a threat to the future, because these are like, social media is one thing, but if you're spending your day, your own time, your own money in certain cases to travel down just to, because you're that angry at something, then of course they will have to see that view. There is no way they could just go, protest, whatever. It's just not possible. In today's world with the media and everything, it's not possible at all, bro.
The thing is, if Roman Abramovich is in control, this is the big thing, and I keep saying it, we are lacking clarity, we're lacking understanding, from the day go since he announced the sale of this football club. It gives me a headache talking about it. It does, because I feel like we're going around in circles because we're so limited with certain information. But, you know, there's no way that if Roman Abramovich is in control of this decision, that even if he does look at the Ricketts family as an option in terms of a financial point, but then sees that the fan base itself are just not taken to it, I just don't see Roman Abramovich giving it to someone that he knows the fan base are not going to accept. Like, he's going to want to make sure he leaves it with the right hands. And, you know, if he thinks that is them, I do think that we have to prepare that the Ricketts family will potentially put forward a big PR stunt towards the fan base and try and persuade us with maybe the same with what they've been trying to do with the likes of Paul Canoville, you know, in the meetings that they've had. Maybe there is something that they're using to sort of alleviate and pull people aside, but the proof's in the pudding, and there's so much baggage with this Ricketts family that they're carrying as it is anyway. You know, I just don't see how they get like. I don't say I don't see how, because you just don't know anymore. But I just don't see how, after the weekend when we protest as well and continue to protest, how they win this. I really don't. But big up to Dinisham for the donation, bro. Thank you very, 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 very much. Let's move on from here. We've got this comment here as exclusive. If they want the Ricketts family to buy the club from Roman Abramovich, just tell the rest of us now and spare us what is an awful lot of hard work the bid advisors have told them. And I don't blame them. Do you, Pies? In that, whoever said that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Why are they even bothering? Why are they even gonna travel to London, speak to Tuchel, if this is all like nonsense and rigged in the first place? Absolutely, that quote's right.
Exactly, guys. Guys, make sure we smash them likes. We haven't got enough likes here at the moment, but let's get this over. There's over 120 people here as well. Big up to everyone that's in the chat already. But get these likes up. Let's close the gap. Subscribe to the channel as well, because on our road to 5k subscribers. We're back tomorrow with the Prem show. We have got football to talk about, which makes me happy. Not gonna lie, because I actually could talk football. And then on Friday, we've got the preview show for the Brentford game. So we'll be talking more football. Tuchel will have his press conference as well. So we'll learn any more injury news. I heard that Reece James and Callum Hudson-Odoi might be back and fit and ready as well, which is great news for the football club. So lots to talk about in regards to football this week onwards. But we're just going to continue talking about the owner stuff until we hear more news on another day. We still see a lot of hashtag no to Ricketts. Big up to you. American owners come in, man. It's going to be harder to sell the club in the future, especially if it's run like an American family as an asset. True. You only got to look at the Glazers. You know, they're a massive good example of that. There's no way in hell they're going to sell that asset, and they don't really give two bobs about the fans, because you can only show it only shows in how they spend money. They spend money, they spend it unwillingly. They just do it without a real thought process, and that's what worries me with the Ricketts family. They might do the same as Glazers and just spend lots of money, but it's making sure that there's a system in place. But I'm talking about from the board's perspective, that allows you to continuously bring in the right profile of players for the manager that you got. You know, you don't just go, oh, I want him. No, get him. Yeah, no, we'll get him because he's a big name. You know, and we've done that enough as it is when you think about it in some of the players that we brought in. So, you know, this is something we will want to keep away from as well. Big up to Dylan in the house. All good, mate. What are we saying? Not much. I really got a headache, to be honest. I don't know about you, Pies. Got a bit of an headache talking about this stuff as always. All right. So, Chelsea have confirmed that Bruce Buck facilitated and attended the meeting between the Ricketts and Canoville, but they say he did not play an active part in it. What does that mean? How can you facilitate and organise a meet but not have an active part in it? Pies.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, does it? You've facilitated and created it, which is your active part. So why is it not an active part? Do they mean in terms of him sitting there and listening to him talk, go back and forwards? I don't know. Like, I don't really get what they were trying to say at the end of that. But when you read the first part of it. When you first saw this come out, Pies, Bruce Buck organising a mix between the Ricketts and Canoville, what were your thoughts?
Just clown, clown. Really, I mean, this guy should have gone after the Super League protest, bro. No one likes him. No one really knows what he does. Like, he's the chairman. No one hears about him. No Chelsea fan that I speak to really likes him. And again, it looks like he's involved in more controversy. So yeah, I mean, I was really annoyed with him and Marina for clapping Liverpool as they walked up the
Yeah.
stairs. To be honest, when they beat us in the Carabao Cup final, I like everyone to be, show some emotion and be annoyed. That's one thing that I picked on with those two. I think they're just business people. Him especially as a business person, bro. They're not. They don't have the best interests. He definitely doesn't, in my opinion. Sometimes he's done a few good things in the past. Obviously, like I remember the one story of him like saying or handing out. I think it was like popcorn, free popcorn, and things like that to fans at games, and just general nice things. But overall, I mean, I don't know too many people that like him, to be honest with you.
With Bruce Buck, I've said it before. I don't really know what since Roman's been here. What does he do other than just watch games? Like he's not really made. All right, he might make some decisions if Roman can't make them, but I just feel that Bruce Buck's time is not because he's old, he's coming to an end anyway. And I just feel that once these new owners are appointed, I don't see him hanging around. I just think he might actually kick on. I just don't know whether he has the right intentions. I'm not saying that he don't love the club, he might do, but I just don't think he's simplistic in what's the word? But I don't think he's sort of thinking about the whole situation clearly is the word. I feel like there's a certain sort of favoritism in the way that he may be choosing things. Yeah, but look, it is only media talk, and this may not be, the story that we read today may not be the same tomorrow. We might hear a completely different story when it comes out, but we can only talk on what we hear, and it doesn't look good if you're a bidder on the shortlist, especially if you're being told not to have any connections with the football club, not to really, do your bit, put what needs to be put forward, and decisions will be made. And all of a sudden, you're seeing that the Ricketts family are attending meetings directly with the likes of Canoville, who we know very big in the Chelsea industry. When you think about him being the first black player to play for Chelsea, so it's like they're trying to pull them all on side, including the Chelsea Supporters Trust, who we already know put out a statement and confirmed that they were questioning certain elements that they feel wasn't answered by the Ricketts family as well, which seems to have been ignored because they made the shortlist. Still don't get how they made the shortlist once with it all, to be honest. But big up the Coming You Blues with a donation. He says, if Ricketts buy us, I'm gonna stop watching football. Period. I feel like the people in the chat, there's a lot of them that are saying that they will completely stop watching their football club. I don't feel like I can do that. I've supported them since I was a baby, like literally a baby. Like, as much as I'll hate my owners, I love this club and I'll always love my football club. And if it means that we're not the same animal as we was for the 20 years under Roman Abramovich, then so be it. Because the fact that I and you guys, and I'm sure Pies can all sit here and say that we've had an owner that's allowed us to win every competition available that we could possibly play, and be touted as number 5 in the elite club number, other than I think Bayern Munich, Man United, Ajax, Juventus, Chelsea. They're the only 5 teams that have won all of their competitions that they could possibly play in. That's a big achievement, and for me to have been able to see him do that is huge, and I can take that with me. There's not many people. You look at Spurs fans, look at some Arsenal fans. They don't even won a European trophy. Like, there's a lot more worse going on out there. We've been quite spoilt, Pies, haven't we, as fans? When you look about how much what we've won, and to be in this generation, to have seen it. Not to say that it won't continue, but what I'm saying is, if we do fall into the wrong owners, and we don't continue to run the same as the way Roman Abramovich did in many ways, and we're not as competitive as we should be, And I think I will. I will stand by my club. I always will. I always will. Uh, Big up to Cohen You Blues. Thank you for that. Bruce Buck is basically a spectator with too much power, is what Rebecca's saying. That's probably a good point, isn't it? Too much power for someone like Bruce Buck. I always support Chelsea. Don't give a shit who the owner is. Big up to Josh. Big up to him. You lot all arguing in the chat with each other. All I can see is you all arguing with each other. What's going on here? Guys, we are the most divided fan base. We should be coming together to stop the Ricketts, and we're sitting here in the chat arguing with each other about blimmin' the owners and stuff. Like, come on, man. I won't stop watching Chelsea. I won't stop watching Chelsea, but I won't give any money for the club if they buy Chelsea already. Cancelled my tickets for the stadium tours. Wow. It's down to you, my bro. That is down to you. From this comment, we then went on to this, which is obviously the letter sent to a bidding group on the 1st of March. It was stressed that no contact should be made with the Chelsea executives during the sale process, which is being led by the Rain Group. It just goes back to what we were just talking about again, that, it could be potentials that the process has been broken. The process has been broken. Reports claims that the meeting took place in the club suite named after Canoville, with Gary Trousdale, a patron of Paul Canoville's foundation, saying the talks between Canoville and Ricketts were very, very positive. What'd you say? What is it they could have possibly... How are they doing this, players? I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't know how they're doing it. What are they doing? How are they sweet talking all these people? How are they doing it? I really, really don't get it. Start protesting. Well, that will start. That is definitely going to start. We don't accuse people of being racist on stream for simply having... Oh, well, if people are doing that, don't do that, especially if it's just difference in opinion, guys. It's not worth falling out and making stupid comments in the chat, please. Bruce Buck's intervention is said to make rival groups nervous when there is already a strong business relationship between Rain and the Ricketts family. And you could probably feel that, couldn't you, Pies? If you're Todd Bowley, for example, and you're sitting there and you already know that Rain Group have had dealings with the likes of these Ricketts already, are you slightly worried about your opportunities of taking over, even though the fan base are shouting that they don't want them to be the ones?
Wait, read that back again? I just lost thought completely.
I'll say, if you're Todd Bowley, for example, when you're sitting there reading this, and you already know that Rain and Ricketts have got a relationship, are you thinking of the worst, or do you feel?
I'd be angry. Yeah, I'd feel like the worst. I'd feel like, well, what am I up against here? Am I up against? I'm trying so hard. I've put a consortium together. I've put the money on the table, but yet this seems like it's a, it's a one-way thing. They're meeting up with bloody Tom Ricketts in London. I think he's been in London twice. Once with the supporter group, Chelsea Supporter Trust, and now once with Paul Canoville. So. It's just dodgy. The fact that Rain had a existing relationship, as Matt Law said, with them is not good. If I was involved in one of these opposite bids, I'd feel like what am I up against really here? Do I really have a chance?
So one of the other things that people feel may go against the Ricketts family is this comment here. It says in November 2020, the Ricketts family and Rain formed a special purpose acquisition company, a SPAC seeking 325 million, about 250 million sterling, for a technology media telecom acquisition, including possible acquisitions of a sports team. Now, if that's true, surely that has to eliminate them, forgetting what Rain want right now, because you can clearly see that the favoritism's there, right, Pies?
Let me read this again. These tweets are so
I
yeah, that's what I was talking about, wasn't it? Was this the 2020 one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I don't know. When I said or when I heard that they had made the shortlist, I was like, yeah, this is not good now, because I didn't think they'd make the shortlist with all that backlash. But I love that song.
Oh my god!
It's so bad. I love the lyrics to that song, but obviously the words are a bit over the top. But yeah, no, this is clear conflict of interest. I'm sorry, and this seems like with the Times leak today that these groups now know that rules have been breached. There's going to be a case being fought, I think. And to be honest with you, like they either just like there could be so many things that happen. They either stop the sale, like suspend it until they work everything out. They either chuck the Ricketts out, or they hand over the sale to someone else. But I don't think they'd do that because they're getting a fee from it. So it's like 30 to 50 million pounds if they
Well, they should get a
stop the
fee.
sale.
They shouldn't get a fee if they're breaking their own rules. That just shows pure favoritism and that they're not actually taking the best interest of the football club into place right now. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Just reading some other bits on Twitter. Is it worth talking about? No, something to do that Athletic come out with as well. We'll come back to it. Obviously, Alex Goldberg himself commented saying Bruce Buck is trying to tear Chelsea down on his way out. This is so embarrassing. Yeah, if it's true, I agree. I said it. I think that he's doing this to then leave. I don't think he. I think it'll be part of the people that will leave once the new owners have been announced, whether it's in the summer or not. I don't really care. We could get someone else in. We don't need Bruce Buck. What does Bruce Buck actually do? What does he actually do? Is what I'm saying. He's not doing his job where required anyway. So, yeah. Once the sale of Chelsea is complete, 9 Premier League clubs will be under American ownership. Is that not? So let's get it right here. How many Saudi Arabian owners are there in the Premier League?
1.
2. 1. What about Man City?
No, they're UAE, I think, aren't they? United Arab Emirates.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not
So
Saudis.
Middle East, yeah. All right. So they're not Saudis. So you've got them, and then you've got 9 Premier League clubs that are owned by American owners. Why is there so much favoritism to the Americans in this instance?
It's because they got a lot of money, bro. That's the problem.
So have the Saudis.
Yeah, but they have a lot of political
Shit going on.
shit
Yeah.
going on. Like it's so much easier for an American to take over than a Saudi. Like I've always thought this. Like it's why I done the obvious thing, made a little fan cam and stuff, but I never truly believed in the Saudis. Like I didn't ever really think they would win over these guys. Just because as well, another thing that's kind of ironic is the whole thing we kept being fed info of was, the process needs to be fast. It needs to be fast. This rules out the Saudis. This creates problem for the Saudis. Has the process been fast? No. It's just like it's fucking awful. Like we had rumors that Todd Bowley wants it by Brentford, and now we're looking at a bloody protest instead against one of the shortlisted bidders. Like it's not. The whole process has been an absolute shambles, bro. And some of the info that we originally got fed has just been so bad, man, honestly.
I don't know. Did I miss your super chat in the second? Where was your super chat, bro? Nothing's come up. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, my man. Sorry, big up, big up to you, bro. Sorry, mate. I've got so many comments coming in as well. Nasako Mangani says at GNATV, check the Time Sport on Twitter. Your thoughts. That's what we're going through at the moment. I'm assuming you're talking about the same thing, isn't he? Is there anything going on with Time Sport?
I don't even know who they are, to be honest. Time Sport. Oh, does he mean the Times?
We're probably talking about the Times, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
maybe.
we're going through them now, bro. If that's what you're talking about. But again, thank you for the donation. Big up to you. Over 145 people here. Smash the like button, guys. Get this over. Like I said, 100 likes, please, as well. There was also this actually. I just come up now as well. Obviously, in regards to the protest, Matisse has commented saying the process is being organised. I've reached out to supporters groups to no avail, and we can't afford to stand around any longer. I'll be calling on all YouTube, Twitter, and IG communities to push this. A date and time will be confirmed on the poster tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I've spoke to him privately about this. He's going to be talking still, trying to get a response from mainly the We Are the Shed, because I think there's some like researching to do still over like who can actually sort these things, but it's definitely going to happen. I 100% believe that. Like a protest will happen soon, whether it's fan organized or
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It makes a point. You know, people with the bigger accounts, people that have not even just the bigger accounts, smaller accounts, people that have a say on YouTube, like myself, with the platform here with you guys and stuff. Like we all need to push and do our bit. And I do think sooner rather than later. We don't know really at what stage this scenario is. I mean, Pius, from what we understand in terms of narrowing down the official bidder, whoever's going to be, they're saying end of April, aren't they? From what we understand, is that what we've been told?
Yeah, but as I said, I mean, don't put your house on it. Don't get your hopes up. I don't know whether these leaks will change anything in the process, whether anything will happen of it, whether any other parties will actually start saying, you know, there's a conflict of interest. Maybe that opens up a new can of worms. I mean, it should do, but we'll see. The thing is with Chelsea, bro, and this sale, like with anything, with contracts, with transfers, with bloody sale, there's always fallout. Like there's never just one or two reports saying that's what happens. There's always things that change and stuff. So we could be speaking about this now, and then you know, in a few hours' time or tomorrow, there's more news to talk about. Something different happens, you know. So it's one of the most craziest clubs. I always say this, bro. Like there's so much drama involved with being a Chelsea fan. Like imagine being another team's fan, honestly.
We don't need to be in any other fan. Listen, I keep saying it. We are better than any of the soap stuff that's on TV. You could just put our life, our fan, literally put Chelsea Football Club on there. Put Love Island, EastEnders, all this crap. We're more entertaining than that. You know, we are more entertaining than that shit. You know, we've always got something going on at our football club. It's mad as well. Fuck Bruce Buck, fuck Rain, and fuck the fucking Ricketts is what Sam says. Big up to big up to Sam. Let's see what else the people say. Guys, I did say I'd open up the chat for you guys, no problem, but we have to get this up to 75 likes minimum. There's over 160 of you here. Hit that like button if you hate the Ricketts. No to the Ricketts as well. Hit that like button if you do not want the Ricketts to own Chelsea Football Club. And let's see how quick these likes can go up. So if you haven't done it, it's that little thumb at the bottom. Hit it and subscribe as well, because we're on our road to 5k subscribers, guys. Talking about the Ricketts family are in the chat as well. Look. I will buy your club. People have got so much time to make these, man. I think it's funny. Protest now with all you've got. Fuck the Ricketts. Clutch, big up to you. Says there need to be a protest. That's the only thing they get. This is they're forcing us into doing this, and I feel that we've been let down by the Chelsea board. The fact that they're even on the shortlist, they have let us down.
Big up Clutch for being in it as well. Always
big up
stream
to
with him.
Clutch, man.
Great guy.
Clutch, mate. Big up to Clutch. Yeah, you know what?
Everyone smash the like button. Come on, let's get more than 64 likes. It says on my phone. 150 plus in here. Let's go, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we should easily be on that, man. We should easily be
Subscribe,
on that.
do everything. Jen brings you guys consistent streams, you know, so go
I
help
try
him
to.
out.
I try to. And we're growing. We've only been going for over just a year. To nearly have 5,000 subscribers is on YouTube is really
Crazy,
good.
bro.
It is. It's not bad, you know, when you think about some of the other platforms that have been going for a very long time, you know, as well. So we're not doing bad. They're not doing bad. And big up to them. We will be going back to football talk though, guys. Tomorrow we've got the afternoon Prem show. We've got a Liverpool fan and an Arsenal fan on that one joining us. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. And then Friday, we are previewing the Brentford game. And with the match reaction probably being Sunday, I'm going to the game Saturday, so I won't be able to give you match reactions, but Sunday. And then we'll probably be back again talking about more news about Chelsea and owners. And Piers will probably be here as well if he's free. Big up to you, Clutch, as well. Thank you very much for being here. Dills as well's here. Big up to him. This is disgraceful. Bruce Buck needs to stay away. Everyone's just so annoyed with Bruce Buck, man. Like it's annoying, all of it. But listen, I am going to open up the lines because I did promise you guys that you can come in and have your say. Give us your thoughts and opinions as well. Be respectful as well, please, if you do come on. The link is in the chat for you guys now. I'm going to put it to the top as well. Pin the message to give you guys the opportunity as well. Make sure you check out the petition as well, guys. I'll quickly show you the petition here. Remember, the petition is being created. I don't know if we're over that yet. We should be over that. Let's have a look. Oh, we're 7,320 signatures on that
Bro, oh
petition.
my days. The thing
So,
is, though, like, if this actually goes to, like, 20, 30,000, which I think it could do easily. Like, look how many are coming in. 43. Like, it's constantly flowing.
yeah, I
No,
know.
that's actually, look at the feed, guys. It's literally, look, constantly refreshing people all over the world signing this. This could have some, like, this could get covered a lot by the media if this goes crazy, because it's no different than a hashtag. If anything, it's probably more powerful because you've actually got, like, people signing it, digitally signing it. So,
Listen, we already saved football once. Now let's go and save our football club again. And if it means by doing stuff like this, we have to pull together. We have to pull together because the Chelsea fan base, when it comes to unity in circumstances like this, are the best, man. We're the best for making things happen. So let's make sure that our voices are heard. Josh, what are you saying?
What's up, Jim? How you doing, man?
Not bad. How are you?
Good, man. Just having a little fun with the comments today. That's all.
Yeah, what's going on? I can hear you going back and forwards and everything else. What's going on?
Yeah, but just I like to poke the bear with the reactionaries a bit. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun for me because I do feel like a lot of this is just really reactionarily overblown by almost everybody. But yeah, it's just my opinion. I mean, I don't want the Ricketts to be the owners for a lot of reasons. But I think some of the rhetoric and stuff has been way over the top. There's so much stuff that people, like myself included, just have no information on and no idea how certain things happen, but they read a story and decide that they're gonna, take it to the next level. But and I think that in general, I just think there's a lot of hypocrisy with the Chelsea fan base as it comes with racism in general. So I take a lot of that with a grain of salt as well. This is the club whose fans still sings the song about Spurs fans with the Y word in it. They boo players and they take a knee. So if you're going to be no to racism, it should be no to all forms of racism and not just the ones that coincide with your agendas. So that's mainly why I've been given so much pushback on this. It's not really in support of the Ricketts. It's more of a pushback towards reactionary kind of just ridiculous takes from people who probably should just be quiet on the matter.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on Bruce Buck, mate? What's your thoughts on the whole Bruce Buck?
Yeah, I know people don't like Bruce Buck, but I also think people have, maybe Paul Canoville reached out to Bruce Buck and was like, "Hey, I'd like to meet these guys." Do we know that didn't happen? Do we know it absolutely was Bruce Buck who put these two together, or do we think, hey, maybe Paul before he started making statements about these people wanted to meet them, and so the only person he's close to reach out to them would be Bruce Buck. Hey, can you put us together? The man took a meeting with these people. I don't understand why he's not allowed to talk and meet with these people before he makes a statement about them. That just seems like it would be a common courtesy before you start calling people racist, that you actually get a chance to speak with them and meet them. And then of course he gets racially abused by the same fans who are screaming no to racism. He gets lambasted for just meeting with people. So yeah, I mean, again, this is why I don't put a lot of credence into all this stuff. I don't want the Ricketts for a lot of sporting reasons, but the hashtags, you guys can keep your hashtags, man.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. And this is why it's great that we all have our own sort of feelings towards it. Winter Surfer, what was your thoughts on the whole Bruce Buck organising the meets today?
I've wanted Bruce Buck out for a number of years. He's just too. It's time for him to go now. I don't know what he does or brings to Chelsea really. In terms of turns up in a suit. He's washed up now. He's like a non-executive who turns up for his paycheck every month. That's what he turns up for. I'm not surprised by news breaking that Rain want this and stuff like that. That's how the world's always worked, unfortunately, in terms of picking favourites and everything like that. Wouldn't be surprised if the Ricketts. But then again, in a couple of days' time, we might see stories about the Bowley bid back in front now, or whoever. Remember, they're still. Didn't I read that people can still bid again?
They can improve their bid, I think,
They
right?
can improve their
The
bid,
last
right?
four can
So-
improve their bid.
Yeah, they can improve their bid again.
How
So-
true is that? I mean, Pius, how true is that? Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, it's supposedly true. Yeah, I mean, money shouldn't be the only deciding factor, but it plays a big part in it, of
It's
course.
massive. It's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can also lower their bid because
But
this is
Rain get a fee
Yeah,
as well, right? Rain get a fee
and
for this as well. So
at the end of the day, it goes to the government. So who money talks, it goes to the government. They all fund
no,
the.
but this stage is they're going
They
to look
all
at the Chelsea books. They get a chance to look at the
political
books and
parties
how much it
anyway.
costs to run.
So extra
And then
money is
put
no
a new
issue
bid
to
in.
them.
Yeah, go on. What are you saying, Declan?
Yeah, I'm saying they get a chance to look at the Chelsea books and see how much it costs and all that, how much they pay to run and all the wages. And it's a bit of sensitive information, but then after that they get to redo their bid. So they could actually lower their bid if they felt like the club's not being run well. Or it's going to cost more than they thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I just feel I keep saying it to Pies as well. Like I just feel there's so much lack of like uncertainty. Like there's no clarity in the whole process since Roman announced the sale. Like, all right, we know who the shortlisted bidders are, but we don't really know the real reasons why. You know, we've not been explained why these guys are picked. We've been explained why the others didn't get picked, but we haven't been explained why the Ricketts been picked. Why? What's the positive?
But Jem too. And along with that, though, I don't necessarily think we have to be. I mean, it's not really our. I mean, it's not really our business. I'm not the one spending $3 billion to buy a club. So
yeah, but why I disagree with that is because when you've got the image the Ricketts do have, and let's be serious, and I'm not even talking from a personal element, you've got to look at the business aspects as well. You've got Chicago Cubs fans coming out moaning about the structure and the system that's set up there and how shit it's been since they've took over since 2009, if I'm right. I don't watch enough, but I think it was 2009. You know, and you know, there's been a lot of negativity, Josh, around them. And you know, if there is anything positive, and this is why I keep stressing it, if there is anything positive that maybe we should know, or you know, that why can it not be? Why can we not be brought? You know, why can it not be brought to our attention to at least understand it if there is something? Because if Paul Canoville can be, I'm not saying he's been persuaded, but can now accept and understand their scenario when he was backing the fact that he didn't want them as well. Surely there's got, you know, like I am all ears to listen to what people got to say. Don't get me wrong. At the moment, I don't want them there, but it's not just purely the personal aspect of it. You know, it is the business as well. I just don't know whether they're going to run us like the potential Glazers do or a Kroenke does, and that worries me. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Oh,
again,
no. They're going to be worse than them. They're going to be neglectful. They'll probably take out bank loans and stuff just to let fund us. They're going to be worse than them. At least Glazers and Kroenkes, they put some kind of their own money in.
Well, I think this is a misconception because I think the main reason that the Saudi media group didn't have a bid accepted is because their bid was largely debt financed.
I wouldn't believe. I would be very careful with what you believe in the media. To be honest.
Okay, well that's what we're all going off of right now is what's in the media. Like none of us know the Ricketts personally. None of us know the Rain Group people personally. Like we're all going off of the stories we're reading. Like I mean,
Hey,
listen,
Josh, didn't you accuse the people in the chat for going off shit they read?
What's that declared?
Sorry, didn't you accuse people in the chat like they were getting too hung up on things they read?
No, I said, yeah, don't be reactionary, and this is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
all I have to go off of with the reason why Saudi Media Group's bid was not accepted is because it was largely debt financed. So to say that,
and what was the others? So what I'm getting at, Josh, I'll just get to the chase. Well, I think my issue is that there's a really lack of transparency. We haven't been told what the criteria are. We haven't. It's all cloak and daggers. We don't know who the other bidders are. We don't know. The fans are involved one bit, and the way the Ricketts, and just like Jim said, there is so much negativity on a sporting and a political view, and whatever their views are, and how they filter through the criterias that we don't know about. And why didn't the other bidders get through?
And
We
there's
know nothing.
inconsistency.
And to
There's
say that we shouldn't be
inconsistency on
involved,
the bid.
we're gonna pick up every story we get and run with it. The only reason we're saying the bowlie, everyone's back at the bowlies, is because it's the best, the lesser evil. I mean, there could have been great bids out there, and maybe they didn't filter through. I'm pretty sure every bidder is going to take out some type of massive loan and be in debt to buy Chelsea. So whether it's a Saudi group, whether it's Ricketts or anyone, the club is debt free. The club is fresh to put loans on too.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest problem we have here, and that's why I've been sick to my stomach that every day something comes out and I keep asking more questions. There's no answers.
And that's what it is for me. For me, it's not having all the answers, because it's not like we're going to sit here and know all the business ins and outs and like the technical bits. It's not that. But it's if there's a category and you're right, you've confirmed that one's heavily in debt, the other. For me, the only reason the Ricketts family, from what I know and what I'm seeing, I'm sure you guys feel the same. The only way the reason Ricketts family are on that shortened list is two reasons. One, they have a great relationship with Rain Group and there's some favoritism there, which is clear and obvious. And two, they've probably got more money than any of the other bidders that are currently there with the backing of this other guy. You know, that is, like we said, money talks. Other than that,
as well, it's a lot of hypocrisy as well, because something else we also heard about the Saudi media was that originally Chelsea didn't want to accept any party with any political links that could slow down the process. Yet here we are with the Ricketts in the final shortlist, who have their family members have donated to different types of parties, have supported different presidents, have done a lot of dodgy things politically. I think Laura is involved in the bid, the sister, and I mean, she is heavily involved in politics. Pete's supposedly not, Pete Ricketts, but still, it's like there's so much hypocrisy in this. Even in the Todd Bowley group, Hans-Jörg Weiss, like you can read up about how he supported Joe Biden in the election. Like that obviously clearly wasn't a criteria, because that was filtered out through the media and everyone believed it. And we was like, oh, that's why we're not going to get Saudi media. And then they changed it to, well, actually, it was because their thing was debt funded. So, like, what is it? You know what I mean? They keep changing the categories to how they're judging things.
They're picking, and that's the problem. What Pies is saying there, they're picking and choosing. I feel like it's a picking and choosing who they want in and who they want out, rather than going based on the categories. And that's why it might be good to know, because we might all be sitting here in the dark, but when we actually hear what the categories are, then we might be like, oh, well, okay, that makes sense to a degree. I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm saying this. It's just a lot.
But we was half told though. We was told that a stadium redevelopment plan would be ideal. All of the parties supposedly have put that forward. Okay, yes, there's going to be parties where certain parties have more ambitions, plans than others, but that was supposedly a category. Obviously, you've got things like money overall. The bid is gonna take some factor in it. Supposedly vision and plans, but they've got up until I think April 11th to talk to Thomas Tuchel. So until that happens, I don't know if any of the leaks, how the talks went with him, will come out. Like, there's a lot more still to come out, and not everything is going to be true. That's the problem with this media, the modern day media, especially journalists and reporters, is they all get fed different things, and some of them do get paid off as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree, Pies, 100%. Nick Blue, what you saying, mate?
Yeah, big up to all of you. Yeah, I know we've been hearing a lot of stories the last few weeks, and these last four bidders, I don't really like none of them really, because they all got something dodgy in them. We have the Bowleys who want to redevelop Stamford Bridge. That's a good thing, to stay at the bridge and do it slowly like we did before, and the fans can still be there. Even with this three-sided ground, we've done it before and it works. But the bad thing about the Bowleys is they have the Tottenham fan, and that's the problem. If we can get that Tottenham fan out, I'll be all for it for them at the moment, but because of that, I'm not. We have the Bolton, what's his name?
Bolton.
Yeah, the problem with him, he hasn't said anything about redeveloping the bridge. I haven't heard anything from him. and the other ones are not social. The only ones who the Ricketts, the Ricketts have said they're going to do this and do that, but they're the worst. They're not just racist. They're just there for the money. They're going to do, very well 2, 3, 4 years. They will back Chelsea, buy players, do this, do that. Then you're going to see all the money coming out, and we'll be struggling like Man United right now. That's what's going to happen with them. Plus the ratios, we don't want them.
Are Man U really struggling though financially?
Wait a minute. Yeah, and so none of them are really anything special. I'm only hoping there's someone else out there still. I haven't given up hope. I'm hoping there's someone else we don't know or we haven't heard nothing about, who's just has a little bit enrollment in him, even a touch. That'd be the best for us. But don't forget, we have to go out and protest now. We can't leave it any longer because we leave it longer, we're gonna get what we don't want, and that's the Ricketts being the owners. We have to go and protest against them, against Bruce Buck, because he should have gone when he wanted that Super League. He should have been thrown out the club. He should be thrown out now. He's getting on my nerve, that ponce of a man, whatever he is. He should be gone. He shouldn't be there. He shouldn't have been there 8 years ago, like Andrew said. And it's about time he's gone. He's talking with the Ricketts, the idiot. But I can't believe it. The only ones, the only good thing we have is we still have Czech, Marina, and a few others who will make.
I mentioned Marina because there's a Marina lover here. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and and they're going to make the decision in the end and pass it to Roman. And Roman ain't stupid. He ain't stupid to have the Ricketts. I can't see it. I can't see that happening, but we still have to go and protest. And don't forget, Saturday it's a big day.
Well, Matisse, like I said, Matisse is organising a protest because he's reaching out to some of the bigger accounts to try and organise it. But if not, then we're gonna organise it ourselves and get it done. So if you are available, guys,
let me explain something. Saturday is a good day before the Brentford game. Before all the fans come there, but we want them to come early. So if they come around 11 o'clock before the Brentford game, we can make our voices heard. Not only that, and the ones who have tickets, I don't have a ticket for that particular game. I couldn't get one, but I'll be there from 9 in the morning. We can the crowd can take over the protest in the ground and make their voices heard. Not only get the Ricketts out, sing Roman's song because he ain't done nothing.
Give Roman back.
Yeah, bring Roman back. He hasn't done nothing wrong. The government got it wrong and they can see it now. He's out there trying to stop the war, this bloody war of children dying every day. We have to make our voices heard. I can't understand why we didn't a few weeks ago when I was there with 10 people that day and no one turned up. It made me look like an idiot, really. And let's hope we have to protest. We don't want racists in the club. We're trying to get rid of that. We've had it in the past, like when Paul Canoville was the first black player there. He got banana skinned every bloody game. I'll never forget it. And he turned it around, and he's there trying to put the word out. He's an ambassador for Chelsea. Don't forget. And they mixed his words out yesterday, trying to blame him. He's a racist. How can you say he's a racist?
What is going on here, Josh, man?
That's not going to do shit. He's a soy boy.
Yeah, so it's about time we made our voices heard.
No, I hear you.
You guys, John. Sorry, guys, I got a jump, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Big up to you,
man.
Guys. As always, thank you very much, Piers. And I'll talk to you a bit, bro. Yeah, talk to you in a bit.
Bro. See you next time.
See you later, mate. Bye bye. I want to go to Abdullah because he's not said anything yet. Abdullah, what are you saying, mate? If you're still there, Abdullah.
Nick, I actually heard the Ricketts reconsidered when they heard about your turnout. They almost pulled themselves out.
Yeah, they should. I don't. They're going to in the end when when I have my say, they will. Look, I'm expecting thousands on Saturday before the game this time, and I'm sure there will be this time because everyone.
Well, there's going to be thousands there because there's going to be people
Yeah,
going. To the
Jim, forget the ticket, man. Like you have a ticket for the game. You have to be there early to shout about this.
I'll be there, mate. Don't worry about that. I'll be standing on the net going, "Fuck the Ricketts!" When Havertz goes to shoot.
Yeah, I'm coming all dressed up, ready for action. Don't worry.
What would you do if you saw on the camera me running across the pitch going, "Fuck the Ricketts"? No, I won't do that.
The good thing is it's a match day. We done it in the Super League. We had the match, with Brighton, but there was no fans allowed. But we made ourselves heard, really heard, and we put Bruce back in his place that day. If you remember,
Exactly. Yeah.
we can do the same with the Ricketts. I'm sure.
Let's see. We've got Showtime and Matty here. Showtime, what you saying?
Hey, big up, Jem. Thank you for having me on, brother, man. Big up Nick Blue and all the rest of the panel.
Sign the petition as well, guys, before he goes. We're nearly at 10,000. We beat the 7,500 mark. We're getting close to 10,000. It's going up and up and up. So, yeah, go on.
Get it signed. I mean, I'm going real left field with this topic here with the Ricketts and all this bitter nonsense that we got going on. I feel like this problem is at the hands of us as fans. Some people may not agree with what I have to say here, but too bad is my opinion. I think if we as fans would have stood up for our club and our owner when the sanction was dropped and not care about the optics of the media playing and spinning what our protest was really about, this probably would have never happened. Now the media has failed to recognize Roman's good efforts to try to stop this war and try to be a mediator between Russia and the Ukrainians, big brother, little brother. I actually think that him being poisoned also is a key fact to how the British government has failed to look at the sanctions that they've dropped on the owner and the club. And the fact that even Zelensky even told the U.S. president not to drop sanctions on Roman should put a big shock into the UK government's or the UK Parliament's eyes, because those sanctions came as quick as possible. I feel like us protesting the bid of the Ricketts is not going to make no difference, makes no change to what is really going on. For me, I really don't care whether the Ricketts win or not. I'd rather have a known racist in the eyes and the present racist out in the open than a racist in the hidden. I mean, at the end of the day, we know that within their family, they are racist. I mean, so what? So be it. Times have changed. I mean, it doesn't matter in my eyes whether or not he's a racist or not, as long as he wins his trophies. I mean, the problem with Roman was he was a Russian oligarch. He did this to this people and did this to that people. So what's the premise of a Ricketts a racist? So what? So be it. That's my opinion.
Well, I don't think it's just. I keep saying this. For me, it's not even. Look, the image of the racism doesn't look good, and you can bear in mind that it was their dad and it wasn't them individually saying it. But there has been emails from certain individuals that show that they have got that racist element into them. But for me, it's not even just that. I keep saying it. It's the business element from it as well. Like they already own a sports club. What are they doing with that sports club? Like what is giving us the idea that they're gonna come in and do the same thing? You know, they've been there for long enough. They've won one trophy, from what I understand, in the period that they've been there. And you know, the Chicago Cubs fans are not happy whatsoever. They think that the infrastructure and system that is currently there for where they are is not good enough, and that's them saying that. So you know, you want these guys to come in when there's an infrastructure and system here already, which Roman's built after 20 years. And to continue that infrastructure and keep it at a high level, I'm unsure. That's what I worry about. I'm unsure of that.
I'm gonna quote something that I heard on another stream. If I'm Roman Abramovich, I don't care who gets to take over this club at the end of the day. You know why? Because I'm getting snatched and pulled away by force, not by my own will, to do something that I'm not willing to do. So why should I care who I turn the club over?
Yeah, but you're missing the big point of that. Is that I agree with you. I agree. Why should he care when he's being treated like shit by the British government? But he's past that now. It's the whole connection that he has to the football club and the fans. There's more to this than just care. Not just being able not to care. He cares too much about this football club. I think personally to allow it to maybe not go into the right hands. Look, I don't know if Roman Abramovich is the one that picked Ricketts to be what shortlist. We don't know that. Who knows? Like, it's just a lot that we're just uncertain. We're uncertain on to be, and I think we're going to find out more in the next couple of weeks in regards to the Roman involvement.
I really think we're going to find out anything. Knowing the way that our club operates, we never leak anything to the media. We never is out in the media outlets circling news and anything. We're so private that this is like a problem for us now because you said what?
This is not a player. This is not a player transfer. This is the first time in 20 years that an owner's being forced to.
Look, even when the sanctions were dropped, we didn't hear nothing from any of the board. Marina didn't come on to speak. Buck didn't come on it. Nobody has spoken to us about what is really going on.
I know that. I understand that. I understand why they didn't then. To be fair, because they can't. What is it to say? Like, what has been said is what it is, isn't it? He's been sanctioned, and now the club needs to be sold. I think we were told quite clearly that prospect of it. It's just since that the involvement of Rain Group, the categories, the understanding of picking the shortlist, not allowing certain individuals to make that shortlist. Like, who's going to be the out and out winner of this official bid war that we've got between the 3 or 4 of them? I don't know. Like, there's loads. There's loads to get into it. Matty's here. Matty, what you saying?
How you doing, guys? All right?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Still pushing this, yeah? Sign a petition.
Yeah. Gee, I've already mate. I've got about three or four bloody emails that I've already signed up to already. So they've got my signature 4 times. Let's put it this way. Buck will be lucky if he isn't the next Jimmy Hoffa in the next couple of months. I'm telling you now, because he'll be buried under a column somewhere or a car park. I mean, what a ridiculous sort of thing that, this is the biggest conflict of interest in the whole history of sport. We're having, I'm surprised if the Premier League will allow it, especially when we've got a kick out racism campaign. He's also against disabled rights as well, which is something very close to my heart. My brother died when he was 14 and he was disabled, and it just makes me hate them even more. Back to what Showtime said. Do you really think that the government would pay any bit of notice to what we're doing as far as Roman Abramovich is concerned? I work for the NHS, for God's sake. We've been asking for more than a 3% pay rise. Do you really think they're listening? No. The Boris Johnson himself was in a hospital being treated by nurses, and the first thing he said was, I'm going to raise the doctors' wages, not the nurses. Do you see how pissed off the NHS is right now? No, he wouldn't listen jack shit. We've got the most corrupt government in the history of British politics. We've also got as well, we're being run like clowns thanks to the Rain Group. The Rain Group obviously wanting to suit them in Ricketts' interest, and you can tell that because they've had similar dealings with them before. And if I was Bowley and all that, I'd be well and truly cheesed off. I really would. But I mean, I'm hoping for peace talks to keep going, and if hopefully they might unsanction him. But it's ifs, buts, maybes, isn't it? If my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle, wouldn't she? So I mean, it's kind of, a bit of a twisted one, really. So I mean, scary times we live in. Scary times.
What's your thoughts on Bruce Buck? The news come out today about him and the organisation of this meet.
He needs to go. No ifs, no buts. He needs to go. I mean, the very fact that you're going against a written contract, by allowing people to actually have, even just by helping them, even that's, like I said in the comment before, whoever said organised crime was a flipping myth. It's absolutely stupid. That's the biggest conflict of interest ever. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. He needs to go. And yeah.
does he do, Bruce Buck? I don't generally get what is his job like.
I thought, to be honest with you, I actually thought he was dressed. I thought he was actually one of the Chelsea pensioners, and he just pitched up in a suit one day just for the fun of it. I mean, I don't know what he does. I mean, he just doesn't. He does nothing, honestly.
His role is chairman of the board. He is the overseer of the board. That's what his role is, supposedly.
Well, he's not doing it too well, is he? I mean, let's put it this way: if you were shit at your job, you'd be performance managed, wouldn't you? You know, I mean, let's put it this way.
Look, if I was in his position, I'd probably be president of the United States. We know how the American president is now, so anybody can be president. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? It's the biggest conflict of interest known to anybody, really. And I feel sorry for Todd Bowley or anybody else that put in a bid, man. They must be really cheesed off. I mean, let's put it this way, right? You know, we're gonna have an American bank, right? You couldn't write it, could you? But then again, I'm waiting for the media bounce just now, because all we've had is doom and gloom. We've not really had, we've never had a positive one recently. So I'm waiting for the media bounce. Obviously, as you very well know, media is very good at scaremongering and all this, that, and the other. So I'm waiting for the media to bounce and then say, oh, do you know what? The Premier League have gone against the Ricketts claim because against their disabled, comments and different other things. So, there's always that. So,
can I ask you guys a quick question?
Yeah. Just quickly, guys, I just want to read this donation out. Go and big up to you. Thanks for the donation. This is for more good news. CFC being moved
Oh my God.
They will help with Fatzard's return. # burger and fries. This is what Callahan says.
Fuck's sake,
as well.
I got a quick question. Would you guys, this scenario, if the Ricketts say, okay, if they win the bid and their job is to keep the same directors or the same board intact, no changes are being made except for the ownership. And then we have Todd Burley that comes in and just switches everything up, gets rid of the whole board and everybody under him. Which one would you guys prefer?
At this moment in time, I'd go for Todd Bowley, mate. Of all this, that just show, if he does that and keeps Bruce Buck and the ones that have backed him, doesn't that show you that there's a backhander there? At least with Todd Bowley, he's not afraid to mix something up.
It means it's rigged. It means that this was always going to be the case. There was no point of all these bidders wasting their time of putting bids in because it was never going to be picked in the first place, which is ridiculous. So,
biggest conflict of interest ever. Really.
That's all. What are you saying?
Well, I'm not really that happy about the news came out. I was really having a nice lunch. Then this kind of news, Mr. Bruce Park. What he done, I think it was out of order. But because of what I've read here, I thought he purposely have a secret meeting with the Ricketts in that. That's my thought. And the fact that the Rain Bang literally picked 3 uncompetitive opinions compared to the option that they want to make, it doesn't look like a proper bid raise in it. That's a problem. And either this is like a media PR, or let's say if Rain had a spine, Rain Bang had a spine, or they would suspend the sale and let the club find another bang. Honestly, like I don't blame them with the second option after the Ricketts. So it's all I feel like what the Bruce Buck has done as well. Going on behind the scene was a bit out of order again. I said.
You going to the game on Saturday?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll be there on Saturday.
I'll be there, bro. I'll be there. Protests are happening by the looks of it. So.
By the way, if you want some flares, I've already bought 2 from Amazon though.
What?
The flares, isn't it?
All right. Yeah. Why not? Fuck it. We'll get some flares going. Fuck these fuckers. But yeah. 100%. I'll meet you early anyway. Yeah, I'll message you on WhatsApp anyway.
Yes, sir.
On there, man. 100%. I am going to finish off soon, but I want to hear what Collins has got to say. Collins, go on, mate. What you got to say?
You know what I'm going to say. You know my stand already. You understand? For me, when I read the news, I saw people, because if you want to know the real warriors, people that don't have a ground when it comes to football or when it comes to any team protest, watch people on Twitter. I don't listen to people on Twitter. I always believe people on ground. So I don't believe people on Twitter. So when it comes to protests, I don't listen to people on social media because they will stay in their phone and keep ranting. Then when it comes to the real people, what people on the ground. So I always listen to what people on the ground says about all these things about Chelsea. And people forget about these things. Selling Chelsea is not just something that anybody can just wake up and say, I want to buy Chelsea. Abramovich still have the final say who is going to buy Chelsea. If Abramovich thinks that these guys are the most better people to run the club, I will go with them. If you then think that Tobel is a good person to run the club, I will go with them. My own, I keep standing telling you. All these things you see people keep ranting, or they say no to Ricketts, say no to this thing. Man, those people then just saying, following what the Twitter is telling them. But the real people that believe in World Club, everybody is looking about what am I going, who is this person coming? Have people take time, ask themselves, say, what is your and what do you want to buy Chelsea? Do you want to buy Chelsea just for anything? Because if you watch, I keep telling people, I don't listen to how billionaires make their money. Because if you begin to check everybody, there is no billionaire on this planet Earth. As I'm talking to you, there is no billionaire. Because I come from a country where you see corrupt people. There is no billionaire on this planet Earth that doesn't have one or two things to do when it comes to human rights or whatever. So for me, I don't get too much about politics because I know how it's been played. So I see people keep because of politics. Then those people that are cheering you go and do this, you see them disappear. So I don't get too much attached with politics because I know how politics is being played. So for me, my care, because I love Chelsea so much, more than every other people stay in Twitter, they rant. What do you want to buy Chelsea? Do you want to make us a better club like where we are now? Give us a better sum, because for me, Chelsea is the biggest club in London. I don't care what anybody talks. Supposed to have the biggest stadium in London. So if you are willing to give me that biggest stadium, if I see whenever I'm watching on television, I see the stadium of Chelsea, I'll be very happy. Then we want to sign players, sign a better player. Man, I don't give a fuck who you are. Just do the normal thing. Give me that club I want. Because if I want somebody that will come and start preaching Christ for me, that person will come down and run Chelsea down. So if these people are the most, if Abramovich, because I believe that anybody that's going to buy Chelsea, he still have the final say, 80% final say. If he think that, because all those guys that wants to buy Chelsea, I believe you have one or two chats with them. You can't buy someone's club without that person having a chat with you. So if you think that those guys are the more people to run his club, man, I don't care. Because those guys, Bruce Beck, everybody is talking about this guy. This guy have been running Chelsea for complete 20 years now, and we have been doing well. So forget what other people say. So if that guy is bad, Abramovich could have sacked him for a long time because he knows Abramovich. So he sacked managers like, if you're not doing well, you are sacked. So if he think that old man there is not doing his job, he will sack him. So you see, when you see all this, you remember that Super League time. The reason why people come to protest is because of Super League. If people expect that people on the ground will come to protest for on tomorrow or whatever, nobody's coming, because all they're watching is who is going to buy our club. What are you contributing? What are you bringing on board? If you are promising me for all those people, because I believe they did interview, they interviewed everybody. So what is your aim? What are you putting on ground? Are you going to put this 1 billion? Let's see that 1 billion, you put it. Then are you going to make Chelsea the best club in London, like we are still in? I'm agreeing with you. So for me, I don't care who runs Chelsea. So far as you are running Chelsea the way it is, I'm cool with that.
I hear that, but at the same time, that means you're just happy with whoever the football club choose, which is fine. I'm not saying you can't feel like that, but I feel that there's I feel that people being upset with certain individual bidders maybe taking over this football club is fair when you think about what we've heard of that certain individual. So the personal element and the business element, because it's not just the racism.
Why weren't people upset when they dropped sanctions on Roman? If they're upset about bidders, that you could
we're upset about sanctions on Roman. What does that mean? That makes no sense.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. The cause of us having to have bidders is because we weren't willing to stand up for the cause of us being sanctioned. If we were standing up for Abramovich or sanctioned on the clubs, we wouldn't have to deal with
Abramovich came out and brought a statement saying that he's selling the club. As much as we are fucking pissed off about it.
Because the sanctions he knew the sanctions were coming.
So then we knew he was going to sell. So I am all down for backing Roman and keeping him, and I hope that he does. I really do. But I just don't think he can come out with a statement like that and still hold the football club. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that he's biding time to to maybe show the UK government that he isn't what they supposedly thought he was, and then it all changes. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen whatsoever.
Do you really think? Hold on.
Can I add one thing?
Go on, Nick.
Now you make the point. Look, Roman, we would love him to come back. Everyone would, but I think he's had enough. Even if the government said I have to come back, you carry on as you was, he won't. He won't come back because he's had enough with this government. They no way in hell he will come back, even if they said come back. He's got his principles. He's had enough of this country. They banned him from Chelsea. 3-4 years ago, and how's he going to come back to? Yeah, no chance in hell.
I agree. There's a lot the government has done to him to make him feel the way he does. Go on, Matty. What do you say?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, right? Do you really think that Showtime? Do you really think that the government would have done anything? They wouldn't. They wouldn't have listened to us, mate. Boris Johnson had a party in his own flat, and he didn't know he was at it. For goodness' sake, we're not all going to charge down to number 10 and demand that this is going to take place. Our government don't care. Our government simply just do not care.
That's the thing.
Let me come on.
When has ever sports and politics mixed? When has ever sports and racism mixed? When has ever sports and anything mixed with anything outside of sports being sports? We've let it go this far to allow them to mix sports and politics. If we as fans would have, Boris Johnson, he didn't listen to those sanctions questions when this guy in Parliament was Chris Bryant was asking, why hasn't Roman been sanctioned yet? Why hasn't Roman been sanctioned yet? Don't you think that he was trying to stall and see whether or not if there's really means to sanction Roman, and knowing that he was forced to do it shows that we should have forced our own opinion on Boris Johnson as well. Like, hey, bro, Roman doesn't have anything to do with the war. Nor does he.
Showtime. Hold on. What Showtime? What? If you don't mind me being politically incorrect here, what country are you from, mate?
I'm from the United States of America.
Well, there you go. You see, even your own government doesn't listen to what you have to say. Half of you lot re-elected Trump twice. You lot were looking to try and get Trump back into power.
And that's your premise. We elected Donald Trump for a reason, because people in America were tired of the status quo. If you don't stand up for what you want, you're not going to get what you want. If we don't stand up for our club,
our political system is different to yours, bruv. Our political system's different, and in fact, as much as we follow you lot, we have a completely different premise. It doesn't work that way. We can't just protest outside Downing Street, and by looks of it now, we're going to get to the point now where we can't do protests now, because every single person that you protest against now will get to the point now saying, oh well, he was in the crowd, and they're going to sue you for it if somebody takes offence to it. Welcome to British government. Welcome to the British government. Welcome to British politics.
The other thing as well, Showtime, as long as I've been going into, I'm pretty much in London at the moment. As much as I've been going in and out of London, and this is no joke, forgetting football, there has always been people protesting their arguments, if it's political, if it's religion, whatever it is. I always see protests in London. And do you know what? They don't do diddly squat. I'm sorry, they don't with this government. This government does not care.
The media was there for us. The media was there.
My sources told me
that. God, not again.
I've got
bloody Nathaniel Romano.
I'll kick him out. I've got to go anyway.
Yeah, wait. Yeah. No, you're saying the government.
Yeah, my sources.
We know wait a minute, man. We know the government doesn't care, but that's not the principle. The principle is to shout for your club and roll. Like Showtime said.
Why is this?
No, but you're getting it mixed up, Nick Blue. He's not talking about the fan base. He's talking about going to the government.
No, bro. I'm not saying go to the government. I'm saying you protest at your own stadium. The media's on our side.
We're going to do that, aren't we?
You're doing it for the wrong reason, though.
You tell me why everybody's crying about Harry
Maguire. You're not doing it for the cause. You're not doing it for the cause.
Can you tell me? Can you guys tell me why Harry Maguire is getting all the love for just people booing him. When
What
Lukaku
is
gets
he
booed,
talking about? Thank you.
Like I'm saying, Jim, you're doing it for the effect. You're not doing it for the cause. You're protesting the effect of Roman getting sanctioned. You're not doing it because Roman is getting sanctioned or the club is getting sanctioned. It's two different things.
You're missing the point still. You think
I don't see the point in protesting a bidder when you were supposed to protest the sanctions and the club being sanctioned.
You're missing the point.
That's
and the
my
Ricketts are not
point.
even. Listen, Jam. The Ricketts are not gonna. The Ricketts are not gonna own Chelsea. I've been told by my sources they're not gonna own
Oh
Chelsea.
God, not another one. Give me a break.
Anyway, on that note, I am
On that note, Jem.
End it, Jem. Just end it, Jem.
Do you know what I need to do is peacefully without Nathaniel because he won't shut up. Listen, guys, smash the like button.
Well
subscribe to
deserved, man.
I'll be back tomorrow with the Prem show, and then Friday we've got the preview show. We can actually talk football again. I'm bored of talking about this shit right now. And a protest will happen on the week. We'll be there. We'll protest. I know what Showtime's saying, and he's talking about not in regards to the Ricketts. He's talking about protesting in regards for Roman, and I get what he's saying as well. But let's move. At the end of the day, smash the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Up the Chels. Sign the petition. Make sure you go and sign the petition. Yeah, make sure you sign the petition, and we'll see you again very soon. Peace out.